Welcome to Who Knew with Bruce Lubin from quickanddirtytips.com. I'm Jennifer Boudneau, the editor of the Who Knew books. Today we're talking smells. Not the good smells like roses on a spring day or a giant piece of meat grilling on the grill. I'm talking about feet smells, bathroom smells, fishy smells, the worst kind of smells. And luckily, Bruce is going to tell us how to get rid of every single one of them. He's also going to tackle a massive household mess-up from an audience member that we've probably all done before. I'm interested to see how you respond to this, Bruce.
But before we go on, a bit more about our sponsor, SelectBlinds.com. You don't have to choose between saving money and updating your window treatments anymore. SelectBlinds.com has got you covered, and their loyal customers seem to agree. Just check out the more than 170,000 five-star reviews on their site.
Hey, Bruce.
Hello, Jen.
So today our show is all about smells.
Yay.
And
my favorite.
I have worn these shoes here for a reason. You notice normally I wear nice little sandals to our podcast taping here in Quick and Dirty Tips headquarters.
I certainly
Today
do.
I'm wearing my normal shoes that I have been wearing all summer long without socks. And you know what? They're a little smelly. I'll admit it. They're a little smelly. So I've brought them here today, and we're going to do a little Who Knew experiment. I'm not going to make you smell them. But I'm going to smell them.
I'm not going to say that
They're
I
gross.
can smell them.
I just smelled them.
I'm not going to say that I can smell them.
I just smell them. They're gross. So this is why I asked you to bring baby powder. And Bruce always does what I said. So he brought baby powder.
And like everyone else, I normally carry my own baby powder.
You know what? This seems like it's just a trick because we need something to do on the podcast. But these shoes really are smelly.
Tell Dan what's happening right now.
This
we are putting baby powder in your shoes.
Dan's our producer. This baby powder smells really good, actually. That's enough.
Yeah, no.
Don't go overboard. And the nice thing about the baby powder, too, because I wear these shoes to the beach, even though they're slip-on, and you probably shouldn't, is that baby powder gets rid of sand. So all of this sand in my shoe is going to be a thing of the past also.
Exactly right.
And we're going to leave my shoes here. I'm going to do today's show barefoot.
Can you tell everyone what we just did? That we put baby powder in your shoes?
My shoes the inside of my shoes are now covered in baby powder. Mm-hmm. We're going to leave them there, and then we're going to see how they smell at the end,
all
at the
right.
lightning round.
Let's go.
All right. So first, I have a question for you.
Tell me.
From the audience. Our listener, Leslie, sent us a question. She left her laundry in the washing machine for an entire day.
Leslie,
I have done this before. Have you ever done this before?
I have done this before.
And the whole thing smells like mildew, and she wants to know what she should do. So I actually emailed you and Jeannie this question beforehand because I wanted both of your input. I didn't want this right off the cuff. So what did you guys decide is the best procedure? You have this moldy, mildewy mess already in your laundry machine, and I assume you have some sort of solution for us.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
It's a little bit complicated because, you know...
It's gross. It's like literally one of the grossest things you can do.
It's really pretty gross.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Leslie, but that's pretty gross. So what you want to do is leave...
It happens, though. It happens.
Leave them in the washing machine. What you want to do is add like 2 or 3 cups of white vinegar. Nothing else. No detergent. Wash them on high heat if you can wash your clothes on high heat. If they're not, something that's going to shrink or something. When you're done, you need to wash them again using regular laundry detergent and then dry them like on really high heat too if you can. That should get rid of the smell.
That high heat thing I feel like is probably important too because I know that heat kills mildew.
Yeah.
And I know that we've had, in terms of like bath mat mildew, sometimes you'll say leave it out in the sun because the heat. So I assume you can...
somber when you talk about mildew.
Mildew?
Like it's a thing
gosh, because we all have our mildew problems. They're rough.
We do.
They're rough.
So what Leslie should do is, that should get rid of the smell. But if it doesn't, like if it's still a little funky, once it's really dry, what you want to do is just put all the clothes, again, back in the washing machine, in the dryer. And this time you want to use, again, you want to check for color fastness, about a cup of ammonia.
Oh, that's the big guns, right?
Yeah, and then put some hot water and let it soak overnight. And then add some detergent in the morning and then clean it. And then that should fix it, Leslie. That should do it. But yeah, no, you got to really...
And make sure, I want to say, don't put laundry detergent, don't mix laundry detergent that has bleach added with ammonia.
You're so good.
My dad is a chemical engineer.
You're so good.
So, because
you can poke your eye out. You're so good, you're cautious. I like that.
But there's like some sort of chemical interaction that you're not supposed to do there. So added detergent that does not have bleach.
Right.
And then with ammonia. Because ammonia is...
Yeah, ammonia's funky.
You only want to use ammonia when you have a mildew mess and you're about ready to cry.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that you can actually get rid of that because it's horrible.
Yep.
Before we go on, a bit more about our sponsor, SelectBlinds.com. You don't have to choose between saving money and updating your window treatments anymore. SelectBlinds.com has got you covered. And their loyal customers seem to agree. Just check out the more than 170,000 five-star reviews on their site. At SelectBlinds.com, you can choose from a selection of high-quality custom blinds, shades, and drapes. It's the simple and smart way to get blinds. Select Blinds makes it easy to do it yourself without going it alone. Measure, choose, and install your own new window coverings with the support of their online specialists. If you can hang a picture, you can hang your own blinds. They've served over 1 million happy customers. Why not be one of them? Shop today at SelectBlinds.com. Mention you heard about them on a podcast at checkout and get sample swatches of the room-darkening blinds or shades of your choice. Absolutely free. That's SelectBlinds.com.
So this whole show is about smells. And we always say what we have learned from, I mean, you and Jeannie have been doing these tips forever, but I think one thing you really learned when you started doing the books and, you know, selling them on TV and everything is that, say it with me, America smells.
So I would be on the Home Shopping Network or wherever, and we'd be taking questions from the audience, and I'd be doing my 1,000 tips in 7 minutes. And everyone that called in would say, well, I really loved your tips about how to get rid of deer, but my real problem is I have mildew. Or there's something that stinks in my house. And so I realized, like, this is really an issue. I mean,
that's one of those things, because let's face it, there are things in my apartment that are not clean at all, but as long as they don't smell, no one's going to see them, you know? Once something starts smelling, it's an issue. It's an issue. An ish, right, as the kids say. So I have this kind of broken down. I figured we would go room to room. What do you do about kitchen smells? Start us off with kitchen smells.
Oh, okay. So kitchen smells. So it depends what your kitchen smell is. If you're cooking something like fish or something that stinks, you want to throw a little vinegar in the pan, and that'll neutralize the smell of anything that's really so pungent, but it will not change the taste of anything that you're cooking. So that's really good.
And if you're at work, just don't reheat fish in the microwave. That's what I have to say to you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's happened. Never happening at work.
You're that guy. Yeah.
But if you're at home, add vinegar to the pan. You're doing good.
That's it. And if you've got like a garbage bin or, you know, a kitchen garbage can that smells, you want to put some newspaper in it and leave it overnight, and then maybe put some baking soda into if it really smells, and the next day it should be gone.
That works for like plastic storage containers too, right?
Yeah,
like if you're keeping food leftovers and they smell. Yeah, that's a good one.
The refrigerator, people use baking soda in the refrigerator, but it really doesn't work. It seems like a good idea, but it's kind of like...
I know this one. Yeah. Coffee grounds. Right?
I have two. I have coffee grounds.
You can use coffee grounds instead of baking soda.
You sure can. You know what else you can use? Half an orange, like hollowed out with salt. So take an orange, the peel, and
sprinkle salt on it.
Yep. And do that, and leave that in the refrigerator. That'll do that. That'll get rid of smells.
This is another one that I know Jeannie does because I love it when I come over to your house. This is one she did around Christmas time.
What's that?
With the air freshener. She got a pot and she put like cinnamon. I think it was orange peels, but orange peel, cinnamon, cloves, you know, like pie spices or whatever, and then simmered it on the.
It's so good. Yeah, she's so good.
The stove, and the whole house smelled wonderful.
Also, if you have potpourri, and it's lost its scent, do you know how to revive it?
I do, but only because I've been a Who Knew editor for so long. Please tell the audience.
You're going to use a little bit of vodka.
Yes. Vodka in a spray bottle.
In a spray bottle.
Do you just have vodka in a spray bottle at your house? Just to spray in your mouth, on your potpourri, whenever you need it?
It's not just for breakfast.
I would actually venture to say that potpourri is more of a bathroom scent.
Yeah,
so what else do you
enough.
have for bathrooms?
Oh, for smells in bathrooms?
Okay. Here's one that I know you and Jeannie came up with a DIY. When I went to visit, when I was traveling recently and I went and stayed with my cousin, I was informed we are a poo-pourri household. Poo-pourri. Yes. You know about the poo-pourri because you've been on Home Shopping Network. It's sweeping the nation. If a poo-related air freshener can sweep the nation, poo-pourri has done it. So Jeannie told me you have a homemade poo-pourri recipe. And for those of you who don't know what poo-pourri is, I mean, I'm kind of assuming that everyone knows what poo-pourri is at this point. It's poo-pourri. First of all, it's called poo-pourri. Sorry, trademark people. But that's I probably shouldn't be saying that. But it's a great name. What you do, it's like this like air freshener stuff that you drop in the toilet, and then it takes away all of the odor.
Before you do your business. Yeah, absolutely. So, do you want to talk about the homemade?
Yes,
poopery?
tell me the homemade version.
No, you tell us. I know you know it. You said Jeannie told you.
She sent it to me. Maybe I asked her for it. Maybe I didn't. This is what she told me.
Well, let's see if this is right because I know what this is.
One cup of you're at home making homemade poopery.
Yes,
like, is this on your like Jeannie gives you list? Don't forget to make the homemade poopery later today. 1 cup of water, a tablespoon of rubbing alcohol, a tablespoon of dishwashing liquid like Dawn. 10 drops of blue food coloring. That's just so you can see it exciting. It's exciting action as it covers the surface of your... Yep. Well, that's just so you know that it's working. And then 50 drops of essential oil. I use lavender essential oil. But I mean, the essential oil is kind of pricey, but it's comparable in price to the actual poopery.
It's cheaper. And then you just put it in a little spray bottle and you spray like 3 times beforehand.
Yeah. You can use a lot more. Like the one little bottle of essential oil will last you so much more than the entire... So
you will hand
it ends up being a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And then, if you have a husband like Bruce, just make him make the poopery. And
I'm good that way.
You're saving money and you don't have to admit to friends that you're making your own homemade poopery. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. I think that would be something to be proud of.
It's easy and it's fast and it's way cheap.
What do you have for just general smells around the house?
Oh, so...
Like air freshener spray. Do you have an air freshener spray?
I do. I use vanilla. Okay, and you put it in your furnace's filter on the little, and it really will. Or you know where else you can use it on cotton balls in your vacuum.
Oh, yes, I love that one.
You can do if you want the illusion of baking without baking. You put it on light bulbs before you light them, and when you turn them on, it'll smell. Vanilla's great.
Yeah,
it releases a
I
great
love the smell of vanilla,
and it covers other odors as well. So it's great.
And you can make it into a room spray if you just add water and put it in a spray bottle. Yep. And usually, when I do it, because I've done it, I put in a little vinegar or even vodka. That's the one that you did on Kathy Lee and Hoda, the vodka spray. Because it smells...
Then you can spray it in your mouth.
Vanilla vodka is delicious. But it also deodorizes the air. It smells a little bit like vodka or vinegar at first. Then when it dries, it neutralizes the odors.
What the vodka does is it eliminates the odors too, so it doesn't even cover them.
Yeah.
So it actually is kind of like a miracle. Vodka is a miracle. Jen, I want you to know that.
Especially if you're Russian. What do you do for like a musty basement?
Oh, yeah, there's a couple things you do. You, charcoal or cat litter. Both are great. So you want to put like charcoal in the corner. You want to put cat
moisture
litter.
Absorbers.
Yep, exactly right. You put cat litter in a coffee can. It gets rid of moisture and it gets rid of mustiness and smells. So I would try that.
That's a good one. What about car smells?
It's so funny with car smells. Like, you see these cars with those, like, hanging Christmas trees, which are, like...
Do you remember when I made the DIY Christmas tree? You and Jeannie laughed, but I found this thing on the internet, and I was like, this is adorable. So basically what you do is you get a sponge, like a kitchen sponge, and then you put vanilla extract or your essential oil or your vodka or your vinegar, whatever you're using to deodorize the air. And then you can make a little picture. And I forgot what I did now, but I printed something off the internet. You can do a little kitschy,
like pictures of one of my
if you want
kids
Steve Gutenberg to be your, and who doesn't, to be on your air freshener for your car. You can just glue a little picture of him on either side of this kitchen sponge and then put a little essential oil or vinegar on the sponge and you refresh it. And I thought it was adorable, and you and Jeannie laughed at me because I think that you're a little too classy to be having like Steve Gutenberg face.
Steve Gutenberg a royalty for doing that. For
I
wonder what the rate is for that.
He probably, if he knew about it, he might collect because
here's
it's been
what you
a
do
while.
for your car. What you do is you put dryer sheets under the seats. That's the first thing you do.
Okay, that's a little easier than gluing Steve Gutenberg's face to a sponge.
Jeannie and I have a minivan because we have 3 kids.
Yeah.
So the minivans today come with about 118 like coffee holders, like coffee
cup holders.
Cup holders, excuse me. So you just like fill 1 or 2 of them with cloves. And I'm telling you,
cloves.
I don't fill them, just like a layer.
Cloves are good for.
Cloves are great.
I never thought about cloves.
Cloves are great. That'll give it a
That's a good one, Bert.
That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do.
All right, now the last kind of smells, people smells. We have a article up. I think it's something like ways to get, the general gist of it is body odor. If you have a body odor problem, there is no judgment from the Who Knew staff.
No, we will not
just get on the internet, Google Who Knew Tips body odor, and we have you covered.
Yeah, delete your history afterwards. That's all.
But what do you have for what's your best tip? Like this, I actually thought these were clever in these ones. If you've forgotten your deodorant at home.
What I would use, apple cider vinegar. Absolutely. I'm not kidding. It's fantastic.
Yet another use for vinegar. This should have been in our lightning round last week.
Also, hand sanitizer, which is...
That's a really great one. Because if you keep some in your desk and you show up at work and you don't have deodorant.
I guess you have more of that at work than maybe apple cider vinegar.
Well, how does it work? Because it kills the bacteria and then the smell?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh.
That's it.
Huh.
Can we check your shoes that have baby powder in them for however long?
I made our other producer go get her garbage can so we can dump out the... All right, I'm going to dump
Dan
out
wouldn't do this sort of stuff. That's exactly right. Alyssa will do this for us, but not Dan.
Alyssa's so accommodating. All right. Oh, my goodness. Are you going to smell them? They smell quite fresh.
Let's see.
And lovely.
Wow, it's like a spring day in here now, isn't it?
It really is. And you know what? There's a little bit of baby powder left, but it's kind of great for your feet. It's
great for your feet. No, that will absolutely get rid of the smells. The other thing you will do, and you know this, is like I do this with the kids' shoes. You put them in the freezer in a bag overnight.
Yes.
And that will sort of...
kill most of the bacteria that can't handle the cold.
It's vaguely disgusting that you have shoes in your freezer.
Do you put them like in a Ziploc or something?
Yeah, I put them in a bag. But even then, like people judge.
Why do I need to put my shoes in the refrigerator or the freezer rather when I can come here and have you put baby powder in them?
Well, because what happens to the people that don't have me sitting next to them with baby powder in my hand?
I don't know. I pity them. So, what's our life hack lightning round? Our life hack lightning round. I should explain to all of our new listeners. Although I think most people are just rabid fans. But if you're a new listener, the life hack lightning round is where Jeannie puts a household object in an envelope and then Bruce brings it here and opens it up. And then we try to come up with as many household tips or hacks about this object. What has she got today?
She has crayons, which is really...
That's a hard one. Or as I say, crayons.
Because you're from the Midwest.
Yeah, you say crayon.
Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Or audio dude, just from the Pacific Northwest, and he says crayons.
Crayons. That's what I say too.
You're both wrong, by the way. I don't want to judge.
Crayon.
I don't want to judge. See, I wouldn't mind if you guys had body odor, foot odor, but crayons, I'm judging.
Yeah, you probably say drawers too, like a New Yorker. Exactly. How do they say drawer in New Jersey?
Drawer.
Okay, it's kind of close.
Sort of normal.
Drawer. Crayons. Okay, crayons is a tough one.
Crayons, you go first. So wait, let me just ask, crayons... can we talk about cleaning crayons too? Does that count in our lightning round?
Yeah, I mean, if you have crayons,
you go first.
Gosh, you guys clean everything. I'm going to start with a thing to do with old. I mean, we always say with life hack lightning round, you can use tips that are for like lemons. We did how to keep lemons longer, right? So as long as it's in the tip, it counts. Because this is actually a tip to make crayons out of crayons. Which I think doesn't sound like anything. But, if you have kids, you have all these, like, nubs of crayons at the end, and you don't know what to do with them, and the kids don't want to play with them anymore. So what you can do is you take the paper off of all the crayons, put them in one of those big muffin tin. I guess you could use a small muffin tin, too. Big muffin tin, and put it in the oven at 350 degrees, and the crayons will melt into a giant crayon that's all swirly and pretty interesting. And then you hand the big crayon hunk to your kid, and it's kind of fun because it's, different colors, different where you do it.
You know what else you can do while you're doing that?
Yeah.
And this counts as my tip. Since this is like me just throwing it back on you, you put a little wick in there, and you can make your very own crayon candle.
I want to do that.
How about that? Touche, Jen.
I want to do that. All right, this one is for a flower vase. If you have like a glass vase or something that has a little nick, just a little nick on the top, and it's bugging you, find a crayon from your kid's crayon box that matches. Melt it with a lighter. Be very careful. Don't do this at home, kids. And then just let it drip right onto the crack, and it basically fills the crack. And if you're looking closely, you can tell, but from far across the room, you can't tell.
Yeah,
it's good, especially like if it's like an antique, that you love and your kids break it.
Let's talk about cleaning up crayon messes. So if your kids have used crayons and scrawled on the walls or wrote, help get me out of here like my kids write, what you want to do is put a little toothpaste, non-gel toothpaste, and that's the easiest way to clean crayons.
I see on the internet sometimes, I guess this counts as a tip, but I always thought it was a lame tip. If your kid has drawn with crayon inside the dryer, just run the dryer. I always thought, now how many people does this apply to, this particular household tip? If your kid has drawn with crayon in the dryer, run the dryer and then it'll be warm enough to wipe up. But my guess is you could probably use a hairdryer or something too
See, I
to
would put
warm
the kid
cream
in the dryer to wipe it off
I
himself
think
while I
toothpaste
run it
is
because
just
that's
easier. I'm going to go
that's
ahead
beyond the pale.
as the official arbiter of this contest, count my own tip as it counting, even though it's lame, and I'm passing it back to you.
Wow, look at you cooking the books. Crooked Jennifer, that's what we call her.
Uh-oh, watch
Crooked
out.
Jen-
Watch out. It's getting dirty in here.
So if you have like a wood floor or a wood piece of furniture, this is sort of a riff off of your vase tip. But you know what? I'm going to count this as a legitimate tip. You want to use like a brownish or, a color that matches and just fill it in. You don't even have to burn it and fill it, make it liquid. Just color it in. And no one will know the difference. It really is simple.
This is my last crayon tip. I don't know if you have any more, but I think kind of all the crayon tips are in the vein of, pick out a color and fill in a scratch, because this is for cars.
Yeah.
It's really expensive if you have a scratch in your car with the touch-up paint or what have you. This is one that you and Jeannie actually had in your recent post about secrets that car mechanics don't want you to know. So if it's actually from Jeannie, does that count for your team or my team?
Yes,
I'm not
does.
sure.
We're commingled.
Anyway, she says just
Yes,
grab a crayon out of your that matches a similar color to your car and use that to fill in scratches, and then just buff it with a soft cloth, and it's basically the same. Do you have any other?
I do, but you know what? I think that's a great one. So I think we're going to declare the winner.
I want to know yours.
WD-40, which is kind of like a miracle too, but again, it's a brand. I don't know if we can talk about that.
To get rid of
crayons. Yeah, I'm about getting rid of crayons. You're about using crayons to make your life better.
I know. This is the difference between someone with kids who have had kids draw all over with crayons. I think I declare you the winner. WD-40.
Thank you.
I didn't know you could use crayons.
Yes,
you could use
you can. Who knew? TM.
There you go. Well, that's it for today's show. If you had a freaking disgusting smell in your house that we got rid of forever, please thank us by writing a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast, because we need that kind of thing.
Yes,
and you owe us now. If you need help with any other kind of household problem, check out our daily posts at quickanddirtytips.com/who knew, or find us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, etc., by searching for Who Knew Tips. Tune in next time when we talk about fall problems and how a Slinky, yes, the children's toy, can help you solve an annoying fall problem.
I know that one.
I know that one too, but if everyone else doesn't know it, they better tune in next week, or 2 weeks from now. I'll see you then.
Bye-bye.